Live.
Hello.
Yeah, I love that new beginning. David's got
we have a new titles.
Yeah, he's like having a field day with this. It's like a little kid in a candy store. He's got a whole bunch of stuff going on. He's like, I'm gonna
I just want to impress professional artists.
Oh,
you know something? God. You have also a new camera, I think. It's more detailed, right? David.
No, I got better lighting. I put an extra light on.
Okay. He bought a light bulb and he put it in, and he's very excited about it. So.
No, it's a long story. It's a long story. But I was searching at the thrift stores for the last 4 or 5 months, really, to get a tripod, because somebody gave me this light, which is a light for a photography light, an LCD light. But I didn't have anywhere to put it, and now a couple of weeks ago, we found one for like €6. Thank you very much. I'll have that, and so I've got that now up here, plus the LCD lights here, because it's quite dark up here.
You know, the nice thing is, and because you are from the United Kingdom, you look pastier than usual. So this is nice. I mean, this is like, I feel like I'm back in London.
I've tried this. This is a white one. I've tried the red one. I'll do the yellow one. See, or blue.
Right.
Because I mean, traditionally the red light would be for
hookers. It would be for hookers. I got it. You're in Amsterdam. I totally got what you're.
No. You know that there's a history about that. The red lights are for the soldiers, and the blue lights were for officers and gentlemen.
Oh. Excuse me.
And here they have in the toilets in hospitals and really busy places in Holland. Not so much now, but certainly up to about 5 years ago, they'd have green lights, because that makes very difficult to see your veins profile properly under a green light. But it's to stop the junkies.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
So green's not good for your coloration.
Gotcha.
Unless, of course, you're a lizard person. In
Well,
which case you just bask in the green light.
Yes. Well, that would be a heat lamp. So enough about, I guess, prostitutes. Adam,
you started.
Have we showed this?
Have we? Yes. Look at that. That's a beautiful coffee mug.
It's really good. This is really. I have two, right?
Oh no, we haven't showed that other coffee mug. I like that. Yeah. Look at that. Nice.
Very nice.
It was on another show that you showed.
We only showed the one coffee mug. We didn't show them both.
Yeah, we didn't. Yes, because I didn't show this one. I think I showed it on the other show.
But the blue one, which I think is just so wow. I mean, it's all basically because your artwork as well. Right. But for people who really like that design, there's lots of stuff in the merch store. There's sweatshirts. There's T-shirts. There's all sorts of stuff.
But it's really nice. It's really nice. I didn't expect it to be so good.
Really?
It's really detailed.
Nice.
It's really detailed. Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's because your artwork is good, Adam. That's why it's good.
I am good. My artwork.
Adam is the best. That's why.
It's really good. But you did the design, and it's very nice. Yeah. It's very nice. I have to tell you, I use it every day. Really.
Nice.
I use this, to be honest, not that much. But this I like very much. I don't know. I got connected to it. I'm happy it's my art on there.
Yes, we're happy it's your art too.
Put the links where they can find it, and we will create new ones. A collection of this, I said, and probably I'll send you this week something.
Okay, super. And, because you know the thing, I remember I showed this to Steve as well, because on that design there's that red, almost like a red button, and that your artwork was so good it literally popped off the page when I was designing it.
Oh man, it's really, really nice.
It looks like it's 3-dimensional, though. Really does.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks.
Absolutely
And
gorgeous.
I
not a
think
lot of
everybody
money.
should have one. This.
Everybody
should
should
have
be
it.
going there.
On Instagram, I post on the story the link to the show today live with this picture,
Nice.
and I will send them the link so they can buy it also. And
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah,
yes,
not just
and
the
we're
mug,
gonna
the
have
other
new
stuff as
ones.
well.
We'll build a collection slowly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very nice.
I look
Very
forward
cool.
to that because it's a privilege and to work with your art and yeah, because some of it really just as soon as you start to make something with it, it just works. And that particular design, I mean, you had to
Remind me.
Stephen, that you were going to have a t-shirt, a sweatshirt. You were going to order that.
Yeah, there are a lot of stuff you can buy. You can find there in the
Yeah.
shop. Yeah, you have to say that. I just show this because
I think you would be easy to find in the shopping mall if you were wearing that. So.
Well, the nice thing about your work is it's one of a kind and it's all limited runs. So when they hit 250, there's no more. So there'll be no more. We won't be selling that coffee mug.
yeah, it's
We'll be
limited
selling-
editions. We
Yeah,
call it
it's a
limited
very-
editions.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's very, very nice. It's a limited
So
run.
it's collective. Limited editions.
Yeah, it's a collectible.
It's a collectible. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very nice.
Yeah.
By a world famous artist. So there you go.
Yes, thanks.
Yeah, I mean
That would be you, Adam.
but-
You're the world famous artist. Just saying.
Oh, I thought you were referring to me, Stephen. But there you go.
Yeah, I know, but it's Adam.
There was
So
a
just
time.
let you know.
There was a time
I'm a-
when I was really, really popular. I tell you, it
Right,
was like 15. Yes, 2015. I am more down now, and it's better for me because that time, when we are artists, you always pray and you hope to being popular, famous, and stuff like this. When it happens,
Right.
it's not that nice, because you get used to it anyway. For people you're writing to you and telling you things like flirting you, boys, girls, anything, but a lot of messages and a lot of people, trying to find you for interviews. And I don't get too many now, and it's okay. I prefer it this way because I have updated my point of views on the philosophy, on the metaphysics, on art, on anything that we talk here. But they can listen to the show and be updated with what I want to say, with words, not only with artworks. Although the artworks are my main language, right? I have to say that. And here we're speaking English, and English is my third language. It's my worst language. And I cannot express myself as good as I could, as I would like to. But even though language is not my language and it's not my preferred way of expressing, those guys are the artworks, and those guys, and we talk about them, we will show today also a couple of works. But even if I talk about them, it's not the same, It's something very difficult when you create. It's something very difficult when they go out and go to the people and become objectified. And this is something that we can also talk about today, about subjective experience and objective experience. For example, now we are talking, the three of us, people are looking at us. And although we are expressing ourselves by saying our opinion or creating artworks or anything that comes from the inside with our experience, which is subjective always. But when it goes out, when this artwork now is, people can look, it's becoming objectified. It's becoming an object, like everybody. It's becoming a shared experience. So this is something that's really important that we have to take account into. I'll tell you something else. There's the actor Matthew Perry died a couple of days ago. Yeah. And I've been looking all over the social media, things like mourning and stuff like this. And I made a post and I said that, look, the guy that you met on the series, I've never watched the series really. I've watched some, like that, but never was a keen watcher. The role that you know and you like and you love is still alive. Because it's an artwork, it's recorded, you can always go and see it. You never knew the human
Right.
And the people act like they are a little messed up. They act like they know them. They don't know them. This guy had a lot of problems. I want to talk also about a little about that with addictions.
Right.
Who knew that? I knew that because I read some years ago. I wasn't because something, you know, I read a lot, and I read about that. And he had a big struggle with addictions. But you know, and I don't think that he felt that he had all those millions of friends. No, they're fans of the role that he played in the series. The series are there. You can always point to them, and they're physical. He's not physical anymore, you know.
Right.
Adam, do you think that's part of the art form then, to produce a show, a soap, basically, in such a way that the characters literally become your friends, and it makes you, some people, incredibly difficult to differentiate between them, you know, as entertainment, and them as a true friend, as a you know, like
As a
like your
person they
next door
know
neighbor.
that is familiar to
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Well,
Because that goes to the extreme, doesn't it? When people start stalking and you know, so
yeah,
and
they become
talking
obsessed
to
with
them,
those guys.
but talking to
Yes.
them in there with the name of their character, and then I get
Yeah.
really upset when they don't respond to it. But what do you think about that? Is that an extension of that art form then, cinema?
Look, yeah, it's in the cinema, especially because the artists there, they are playing a role using their appearance, their physical appearance, and their characteristics, their voice, their movements, and everything like that. So the actor cannot take away his real personality out of the role, really. And it's logical, it's legitimate, because it's one of the reasons that this actor was chosen. The actors never can take totally out their personality from the role. They cannot. Also, me as a visual artist cannot also do the same, but we are doing it not with our bodies, with our appearance. We're doing with shapes, colors, and stuff like that. But there is a part of us inside there where at least there should be. This is art. Because if there isn't, and if I copy somebody else, or it's what we've been talking before about AI, if I put some prompts and then I choose one of the 4 images that immediately in a few seconds mid-journeys and I post as my expression, well, I don't feel that it is an expression. As I said before, that I've used AI for a few parts of my work. I've also used it for music. Do I feel as a musician I created? No. I don't feel that I'm a musician because AI created a music that I've chosen that it would be good for my animation. No. I didn't put anything of me into this music. Like, I suspect that most of the guys who do those kind of AI and they express themselves as art, I don't know why there is this need to put yourself into the title of an artist. I don't know. Is it so trendy? Is it so nice? Is it so, well? It's not so nice. Most of the artists are poor.
It's just called ego. People have ego. They want to be. They want their 15 minutes of fame, so they want to inject themselves into everything.
Well, they can have it. They can have it. They can have more if they really show their inside, the real inside, what they really have inside. But you have to know what you are. First of all, you have to search this.
So Adam, then in 2015, were you a different Adam than you were now? Because you were 2015. You said you were at the height, one of the heights.
Oh, I am different person now
and that meant
15 minutes before.
That meant that you gave a lot of yourself to other people because that's what helped you to become famous. And now you say that that's slightly less. Do you physically feel different?
Well, yes, also because it affects me less, because it was a problem, you know, for the very famous people. The very famous people are not normal people. They don't have a normal life like we do. Well, one can ask, what is normal life? Well, normal life, what most of the people have. We go to work. You can say, yeah, but they go to work. No, they cannot. If they are recognized, they cannot go to a restaurant and be, you know, like themselves. Like they are at home.
Is that what they want? I always say, you know, be careful what you wish for. They want to be famous. They want to go to a restaurant and be recognized. until
that's
they
the
want to sit
problem.
down and have a quiet moment. Because your quiet moments don't exist anymore, do they? You don't own
No.
yourself.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. This is well
Wait,
put. You don't
I'll
totally
tell.
own yourself. Your part, what part of you is owned by
Right.
your fans, or at
Well,
least the
here,
fans believe so.
you talked about Matthew Perry and Friends. Here's the story. It was either Matthew Perry or Jennifer. I think it's Jennifer Aniston that actually told this story. So when they all got hired to do Friends, the producers flew them out to Las Vegas and they had dinner a week before the show was going to air in the middle of a fancy restaurant in Las Vegas. They sat in a big round table in the middle and they ate dinner. And the producer said, in 1 week, you'll never be able to do this
Yeah,
again. And
yeah,
so fast forward 10 years later, right? They were a global
yeah.
sensation. So when you talk about that, so yes, so when you're an unknown and nobody knows you, you can do whatever you want. And if you're a little known, you can still get away with whatever you want. But when you hit another level, to your point, you have to give so much of yourself, not only to your art, but then to your fans and to your this and to your that. So you have no life. So that's why, like all these celebrities build mega castles, right, with walls and this and that, because they
Yeah.
just want that privacy. And when they go out, they want 15,000 paparazzi and fans
That's the
taking pictures of
price.
them.
That's the price you pay,
That's the
But
price of fame. I mean,
but
David and I have
there are
that
visual
problem.
artists
So,
like Banksy who never showed themselves. There are
right,
many more in the digital arts. There are
right.
some
Banksy's
characters
great.
which
Yeah.
yeah, we don't know. It's I
You
don't
don't
know.
know if it's a person or a collective.
Yeah, or a
Yeah.
collective.
Right.
I don't think
Yeah.
that the work of Banksy is so special. I don't think so.
When I
I don't
say it's
think so
great,
that it adds so much to the history of humanity. I think in few decades it'll be forgotten. Only the
right.
market will carry it on.
But
We
I
have a
think the
big
thing about
problem.
Banksy is that he visualizes what people are thinking in a very simplistic way.
It's
Because
simplistic. Yeah, I think it's very simplistic.
the art is stenciled onto the wall.
Yeah.
With,
It's good for him that he's been so popular. I think he's having a good life with a lot of money and stuff like this. But I
well,
have
when I
to tell you
say
that everything has a
right,
price. A lot of
right,
money has a price as well.
yep, everything has a
Everything.
price.
I've
But
never been a rich guy, but
right,
I can imagine that being a rich is not always so safe. I guess you're feeling kind of. You must have kind of anxiety because somebody will come rob me because they know I'm rich, things like that, because they can see that I have money. So many people
well, there's a difference between
don't show off this thing.
but it's a difference between being rich and nouveau riche. The nouveau
And
riche are the ones that are showing their wealth and their bad 42 cup. They're the ones. People with real money, you wouldn't know if they have $1 or $1 billion. They drive normal cars like a BMW or a Mercedes
yeah,
or
I know a guy
whatever.
like that.
They may live in a $3 or $4 million house instead of a $50 million house. Like, as my one friend would say, they know how big their penis is. They don't need to show the world how big it is. And I think that's the way to be. Like if you collect art, I don't like the art that we have. We don't show the world. It's hanging on the wall for us. When I die, they can do whatever they want with it. I don't care. But then they can give it
Exactly.
to a museum. But my point is that you don't have to go around going, look at me, look at me. Like, the problem is it's not real now unless it's on Instagram or TikTok, right? You have to post something. We don't post anything. We post our shows. That's it. No one has a clue of what anybody's life outside the show is. And that's the way it should be. I mean, the old celebrity of up until, like, let's say the 80s, when you look at like the Humphrey Bogarts of the world or Charleston Hestons and all these Marlon Brandos, right? Nobody knew anything past the wall.
Yeah.
Now all the celebrities think they have to be my fan's best friend. No, you don't. You're paid to do a job, whether you're a singer or an actress or an actor or a thespian on Broadway. That's your job. Past that, you owe your fans nothing other than when they meet you to be cordial. And remember, it's the first time they're meeting you, and to treat them with the respect and give them that same enthusiasm they're giving you, that you give back. That's your only thing. After that, they need to know nothing about your personal life. Like, no one knows
They don't
anything
even
really about,
care.
like
They don't
Tom
even
Cruise.
care.
Well, right. But if you look at like a Tom Cruise, Keanu Reeves, everybody thinks they know. They know nothing. It's all in the tabloids, right? That's what they know. But really, you know nothing about their personal lives. And that's
No.
how it should be. That's like George Clooney, same way. It's like a very elegant old Hollywood way. And I think that's how it should be. Not like the
Well,
Kardashians
there
where
is
it's
no
like,
should be
follow me.
actually in life. Life
Yeah,
unfolds in its own way. It's
maybe.
Yeah, but
I
here's the
don't think that
dilemma.
we have a free will, so it
Yeah.
happens how nature wants
Here's the
us.
dilemma,
I agree.
Adam. I've just cut a deal with Netflix, and
You
they're going to
did?
come and make it. Yeah, and they're going to come and
Wow.
make a real life documentary
Documentary?
series. Yeah, about you.
About me.
Yeah. So where does
No.
that leave you? And I'd like a
If
You
they
just
fly on
said
the
came to
wall.
me
no.
and ask about making an art about me, I have rejected major participation. I've rejected a participation in TEDx Athens, which is second biggest TEDx in the world. Actually,
Oh,
that's
wow.
what
Yeah.
I heard. You know what I rejected it because I'm a shy guy. I would be
Right.
talking to 2,000 people, but I didn't reject a smaller one with 300 people, and it was
Right.
young people,
Okay.
students of a
Right.
university. It was University of Piraeus. I didn't reject that, but I rejected the big one,
Okay.
and they never came back because I think they realized. But okay, there was also I rejected also, because of that. But I had an exhibition going on, and
Right.
the days were also the beginning of my exhibition. I had to be there.
Right.
Because I said I would be, so I couldn't be there also. But I could somehow, make the exhibition 2 days late, something like that. I just couldn't show up.
Yeah.
I don't know. Everybody has an ego, but
Right.
some people have very big ego, and something with the ego. When you feed the ego, it wants more. It gets
Right.
You get addicted to it. You wants more, and you pay even more price and even more price. And look what led the guy. Matthew Perry died because of that. It's
Well,
pretty obvious
yeah.
because of the addictions, because of the
Right.
whole thing. He couldn't handle it. Actually, a lot of stars, the big names, they cannot handle it.
Well, let me ask you this though. So you talk to David and I, whether it's every couple of weeks we have Adam on the Eve live with you, and then we broadcast. So millions of people see this, but you're comfortable because it's just the three of us in this little box talking, and then
Yeah.
everybody else is kind of like a spectator.
Yes.
Yeah, that's how I look
like
at it
it
too.
because I feel like we're three friends talking about stuff, and I think it's important because we have important things to say. Now,
Yes.
if they don't want to watch, they don't want to watch. If they want to
Right.
watch something else, they watch something else.
Right.
Well, it's called free will, which doesn't exist. Well, they will
Right.
come one day here because the things they say, what I'm interested in, also through my work as a visual artist, and through what I say, are things which are kind of fundamental. They don't change like in a decade or something like that. This is what I'm trying to do with my work.
Right.
What I'm trying to speak of is about things that will always, I think, okay, we change as species, we change a lot, but I think it will last for a long time. Like the need for companionship, the need for our loneliness, for example, about sex. Well, sex is written in our genes. Right. It's not that we chose. I didn't choose to, chase girls and to find sex. You need to satisfy a need.
Right. I agree.
But listen, of course, the way. Yeah.
No, go ahead. I was going to say, I agree with you on sex.
That you express your sexuality,
right,
is a subject to criticize by others. That's why the girls reject you or not, depending on how you behave to them, right?
Right.
It's like this.
But that's how people are, right? If you treat people with respect, they treat you back the same way. And if you treat them like crap, then you get what you get.
Yeah,
but
the world is round, is what my father used to say.
I'm sorry?
Yeah. So my father used to say the world is round, so what goes
him
around.
and Yogi Berra should have hung out together.
Yeah. Yeah. What goes around comes around. So Adam, all this fame then, all this Netflix fame, we do this we do this 10-part series with you. We follow you to the toilet. We follow you around your house. We follow you shopping. It's
well, if it doesn't offer also the smell from the toilet, it's not complete. So
that's true. Yeah, if it's not smell vision, it doesn't work.
Especially for you,
you want to meet, but it's a
TV.
good point. You want to meet somebody. Well, somebody, the big stars, all the big stars, you know, that you might be obsessed. They go to the toilet as well. They do dirty things. They have dirty thoughts in their mind. They've been bad. They've been bad in a way that probably you wouldn't like them.
Yeah, but the publishers told them not to be. That's the difference.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So, this is what I'm trying to say to younger persons, and I'm trying to say a lot of things to them. I don't feel they don't understand, or they don't want to understand some things. For example, I posted something like on Twitter the other day, and it didn't get too much attention, but it's true. Like, there are people talking about, you know, physical and digital, and I say to them, look, there is no physical and digital. Digital is physical too. Non-physical means it doesn't exist. Physical, it's from the Greek word physi, which means nature. Something that is not nature, it doesn't exist. Nature is the sum of everything that exists, that has a potentiality to exist. Those that don't exist is not physical. This is one point.
Yeah, but that's a bit of a mind bender for a lot of people, though. Huh?
Yeah,
I get where you're coming from, but I can imagine quite a lot of people who just could have sit there and go, "Duh, what does he mean? How could that possibly be?"
Okay, we try to speak to people who can understand us. No, yeah, we don't speak to fanatics who go and say kill the Arabs or kill the Israeli or kill I don't know who, or kill the fans of the other team, right, in football. That's crazy stuff. I mean, it's crazy stuff. We're saying,
and to the intellectual group.
Look, I speak into the artists there, because on Twitter I have only artists. I have only digital artists that from NFTs. I've given that. That's why I don't have too many followers there. But I have a small, let's say, circle of people. And I'm trying to say to this. So the first was that. The other one was said because with the advent of AI, a lot of artists in the statement, it's the same, like copy paste. They're using that they're trying to explore the symbiosis with machines and AI. And I write to them that there is no symbiosis. Symbiosis, I don't know how it's in English.
Symbiosis?
Symbiosis. Yeah. Symbiosis in Greek also, it means co-living. Symbiosis. That's why we have biology. It's life, right? There is no symbiosis with the machines and AI, because the machines and AI, they don't live. We live. They don't live. I know that I'm trying to narrow down the linguistic meaning of words that we use, but we have words so that we can objectify things, so we can understand each other. This is objectifying things. This is the objective world.
You can understand why people have difficulty with thinking that computers live, because there is nothing. And then you plug it in and you push a button, and all sorts of stimulating things come towards you.
Yeah,
like a TV. But this time it's not just shouting at me. I can actually get it to do what I want, and that's a bit like having a dog or a cat or something, that you can have this sort of interaction with it. And I think that in many respects it's a way of marketing the product. So a lot of people immediately think, yeah, my computer's alive. Yeah, well, why isn't it? Why can't it be?
You can have interaction with it because it starts to have intelligence. Right. And soon it will, or even already, it will have greater intelligence than you and me, right? Than humans. They're much faster. They're much faster. Now, I read today that an AI created a code in 7 minutes that needed 2 months to be created by programmers. Well,
but AI keeps developing and just like evolving, just like humans do.
Yeah, but it's a simulation.
Right, no, I get that. But to your point, it'll evolve past us. So then at some point, will the human race, for lack of a better term, know then what a simulation is compared to reality? Because most people don't leave their homes, right? They're all engrossed in, and when they do leave their homes, their phones are in their faces. So
Yeah.
are people really going to understand the difference between reality
which is
and
stimulation
simulation?
and artificial stimulation.
Yeah. And I think that's where we're heading.
Yeah, but this is also has to do a little with the thing that you asked, David, about the actors and how people identify themselves from point of viewer as being along with the actor, as the actor is talking to them.
Right.
So they're like when we're watching a movie, look, we know it's all lies, but why we cry sometimes when it's touching movie?
Right.
Why we cry?
Yeah,
It's because we are getting into the movie. We are part of the unfolding of the movie. We're believing that our mind,
the story,
our mind are fed up with the stories. Right. I've been saying that all along.
Movies and the theatre affect you intellectually a lot different than the TV does, because you're sitting in your home and you choose to watch these people, and it's a bit like looking out your window and watching your neighbours, and there's a whole group of society who don't see that difference, don't want to see that difference. Maybe they're comforted by the fact that they can always watch the same soap with the same people, and they know where they're at. So there's a whole, you need to step back from it. And I think a lot of people are desperate to step, not back from it, but step into it. Because they're in their homes.
Because their mind, they're living a boring life. Nothing happens in their life. So those kind of medium, they feed their mind that there is something real into it. But it's kind of reality, but it's not the real reality. I mean, when an actor is talking, like imagine a film that an actor is talking directly, to the camera and looking at you. You know, we know films like that. It's in purpose by the director so that the viewer will take, he's talking to me now, get into it. If you want to submit a message to the viewer, you do this. There are a lot of tricks that you can do this, that you look suddenly. Normally the actors never look on the camera. They look somewhere, a little there, but never like this, for many reasons as well. But when they want to give a direct message, they will do this. Look, guys, the world is crazy. We are going crazy. Can you understand it? You are going crazy. It's like this. No, I'm looking. The camera is there, a little upper, and I'm looking at you. So that's why my eyes look a little down when I.
We always do that though, because the way it's set up, it's like we've got all these screens. So when I look, someone said to me, "Why do you look this way?" I'm like, "Because I see our guests on these different screens to see what's going on." And they said, "Oh," I said, "And if you look if I had to look at you." If I want to make eye contact, you're right. I have to look in the camera, but now I can't see you, right? So I have to look at you, and that's just scary, David. That's the Halloween. Now the kids are going to go run and cry. So, but I mean, but that's just it, right? It's just you have to. So if there's an art to it, so and for interviewing. This is the perfect format where we don't all go like, "Hi, how are you? Can you see me?" type of thing, which is crazy.
But you see, you talked about movies, though. There was some very, very clever cinematographers. I mean, you remember the Blair Witch project where it was so blurred that we didn't know if it was a home movie or if it was actually, reality or whatever.
Oh, yes, we did. Let's not get carried away.
Well,
everybody knew it was
you may have done, Stephen, but there's a whole group of people who were totally engrossed in it and had a great deal of difficulty pulling it apart.
Really?
And is that the danger then? Does it make the director dangerous because he was able to do
Blair Witch? You want to tell you how good they were with Blair Witch? When I lived in Virginia, a friend of mine apparently knew someone that knew a guy that had lunch with the guy who did the movie. And he said, "Do you want me to?" He says, "Do you want me to show you where they filmed it? Because if you watch the movie, it looks like they're like miles within this forest and jungle, right?" We pulled to the side of the road, and he goes, "See," and he's literally 10 meters from the road. He goes, "That's it. That's where they filmed it." I was like, "Are you kidding?" And it's like, there's the house, there was everything, and he said, "This is where they filmed the whole movie." And I was just like,
the whole movie, excellent. 300. You remember it with the ancient Greeks and the Persians.
Oh yeah, brilliant.
It was created in a studio.
Yeah, it
was
was
all
all
3D behind it,
CGI or
but you
CIG or
feel,
whatever
yeah,
they call it.
CGI,
Yeah,
CGI,
And
you,
all that,
you feel,
all their body muscles were painted on it as well.
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
So
Don't believe
fantastic
anything now
movie.
that if you want,
yeah.
it's not the true. But what it so why we know it from the beginning that it's not true. Why we are drawn
Correct.
so much into
Because
it.
it's entertainment. It's like when you go to a Broadway
It
show.
it it,
I
it
know it's not people,
produces
but
experience. It
right.
produces experience.
And because I know that we don't run around the world singing our feelings, like when I go see a Broadway show, I know I'm not going to walk into a room and people go, bah, 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 bah. I'm like, oh, okay, but it's just like you said, it's the experience, it's the feel good or the
It
cry or
produces
whatever you're looking.
experience.
Yeah,
And
that's
look,
all it is.
people who are
It,
living a very, very boring life, like,
Yeah,
every day work and then every day the same and boring life, they really, really need, their minds really, really need something different, something special. But of course, I will not be criticizing them for the lack of depth or something like that. But
right,
they don't. I don't think that they need too much of a depth or something. They need something different.
right.
That's what the
I
most
agree.
people actually do. That's why they don't really are interested into
so
deep
what about things
artworks
like
that they want to portray a meaning into it.
what about
Another,
things like the Kardashians doing? Is that because I mean, my daughter when that first started, kind of like really got into it, and I said to her, "You do realize you're spending your life watching other people living theirs."
yes, it's a passive life. It's kind of,
Right,
well, for the mind, it's not passive. It's okay. It's an
right.
experience. There are guys who live in books, reading books. It's kind
Yep,
of the same. But we say,
Yeah,
oh, books are okay and films are not. Well, look, the difference is reading a book, you use more of your imagination. And in a
right,
film, it's all given to you, right?
right. If
yeah.
there's no
You
imagination
don't you
left
don't
because
practice your imagination,
right, they spell it out. In a
which,
book, when Harry
yeah,
Potter first came out, I remember you talk to the kids and you're like, "Oh, I read Harry Potter." And they blah blah blah. It was like this, and then when the movies came out, some of them were like, "This is awesome," and some would be like, "No, it's not how I pictured it." It's kind of like the movie
Yeah,
Contact. When I read the
yeah,
book and I saw the movie, I was disappointed in the movie because the
because it
book,
wasn't what was in your head.
right? Not only
Yeah,
that, but it wasn't true to the book, and it was sort of like, oh, I really like the book better. So a lot of times when I see a movie after I've read the book, I'm disappointed in the movie because to
yeah.
me the book is so much more entertaining. It's so much more, whether it's the
but
imagination
there have
or
been
whether
good,
it's
very
depth.
good
So you were
versions
really
of the book
disappointed
in
then,
film.
Yeah.
Stephen, when the Ten Commandments came out because you
Oh,
saw it the
I was
first
there
time
when they
round.
wrote the book. I was there. I was all wrong. That's not how it happened. First of all, they were 15, which Mel Brooks proved in, History of the World Part One, and they dropped the tablet. It's a whole thing. But yeah, no, it was just
Hey guys,
interesting.
I want to just jump on and jump in here and add some art because we've got two bits of art before we run out of time
Okay.
today. Which in terms of, can we just do that, Adam? Because
Yeah,
you
sure,
sent
of
me some
course.
stuff a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, of
So
course.
let's just put
In a
this one
moment.
in.
Yeah, this is the latest erotic void from this series. It's obviously an erotic artwork. It's about sex,
Okay.
and it's in the same philosophy that I was talking about last time or two times before. I don't remember about the refractions. I believe that the world is what we see. It's not a reflection; it's a refraction because refraction is a filter. A reflection is not a filter. Reflection actually gives you the opposite image of the mirror. Gives you the opposite image of you. That's
Right.
why we have the option in the when we do selfies in the telephone that flip the selfie so that it
Right.
looks the way that other people look at you. And sometimes when we look at this image, we're a little we're a little. It's a little strange feeling for us because we've used the mirror, our mirror image. So anyway, this is my kind of philosophy
Can
for
I,
this. That I believe that we are more refracting the environment than reflecting it. So those are reflects the mediums of the models there are refractions of the environment. So what they do, they refract, and you can see the shape of those because of their filter, because of the refraction. And I
you
take it
know,
a step
I
down as a
loaded this up
philosophical
today.
stand.
I loaded this up today, and it's only because you just told me that it was erotic. For me, looking at it, it looks like I'm looking down on the head of somebody that's holding a globe in their hands.
A
That was
globe.
my first. Yeah, it looks like I'm looking down upon somebody who's holding. So I can see now that it's not. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
that's what I thought it was. And if you hadn't have told me, I'd have walked past it
that's
and thought,
nice.
yeah,
I like that. I like that. I
yeah,
don't like things to be totally obvious because they are actually never obvious. Well,
Right.
sometimes they are, but even the obvious thing is has got many things behind it. You know, it's
it's like
always
somebody with their arms
complex.
up like that, with their hands
Yeah.
down, with holding a globe. That's how I
Okay,
see it.
Those
okay.
just
I
so
see it
we're
now.
clear, those aren't arms, David,
No,
and
no,
No,
they're
I know
not.
it.
So
no, no.
You know, Stephen, the interesting thing about the art, and the wonderful thing about Adam's art, is because he's called me out so many times, is that only when you said that did my brain actually see it.
yes,
I didn't see it before.
yeah,
And I find that
So you see
that's
how the
wonderful.
brain
That's
works.
wonderful.
It
Yeah,
works in
and
a very strange ways.
that's
But
why
I
I
it's
love
like it.
your
nice,
art.
I really
right?
like it. I like when people give me totally different interpretation of what I've did. Totally, because I tell you, the artwork. It's a story for another. I don't know if we talked about it, but I don't believe actually in free will.
Right.
I,
We've discussed that before.
I start to believe that there is no free will at all. I mean, we didn't choose our sex, our I don't know, place where we'll be born, our parents, our area when we're going to live. We don't
Right.
choose what we will think in next second. We almost choose nothing, and still we believe, because otherwise I think that life will have no meaning. That if I don't have free will, where is the meaning of it?
Right.
And
Yeah.
do we justify every kind of crime? Well, it's not their fault. They don't have free willing. Well, but there is something like responsibility.
Right.
We take responsibility or not. I believe that
Well,
there is this thing.
Right.
I'm going to take responsibility now and move on to the next one.
Yeah, you can say that.
Well,
Well,
that's nice.
this is different. I've made also a version. They can see it on the, or maybe I'll send it to you next time, but they can see it on the Instagram. There's also an animated version of it, and this is
Okay.
called Parallel Confrontation. Now I'll tell you about it. This I created this when the war in Middle East started.
Okay.
And and we
I was
talked
just
about
thinking that. I was just thinking that's probably inspired by war. I don't know
well,
why.
this is a symbol for pistol.
Right. Right.
So they're aiming at each other,
Oh, I
but
didn't
there
see
are
that.
others also around, because I believe that that this war in Middle East and the other in Ukraine and others in in Azerbaijan and in Artsakh, those area in Caucasus, and others in Saleh, they're all connected. I think
Yes.
they're all connected. We are living the third war already. We don't know it
Well,
because it starts with. I hope it stays this way, and I hope that they finish somehow. But I don't see it happening easily and soon. There are a lot of things going on. Still, we are living in a more peaceful world than humanity used to live. It's still one of the most peaceful times of our history as humanity.
right.
But the problem is that we have a lot of information, and we see we see crazy stuff going on, like
But is
children
it?
dead.
Is it? Are we now in an us and them situation then, Adam? Is it peaceful for you, but not peaceful for other people?
Yeah, that's what happens.
Whereas maybe in the Second World War and the First World War, it was like a war for everybody.
Well, it wasn't for everybody. Also, at that time, I mean, in New Zealand, I don't know if there was war, or in Chile or somewhere else. There were always in Greenland. I don't know. There are always places where there is no war. But if there is a nuclear war, everybody will be affected. Everybody and everything.
And Missile Boy said the other day in a press conference that he's worried about the United States and, like us not being a superpower anymore. Well, he just wants to push a button. But it's very interesting with all these little, like the Russia-Ukrainian skirmish that's going on, which is
they are
terrible.
not. We're living in a very dangerous now, coming again because of the advocate, but it's always an.
Well, no, but I mean, you have Russia with the Ukraine, and you have the Middle East. And it's just a powder keg.
I don't think that anyone will push the buttons, except maybe the Israeli will do, because
No.
look, well, look, it's look, it's easy to take side. I don't take side. You have
Yeah.
to understand both sides. They're in a bad situation, all of them. Not everybody in Israel wants the war. Not everybody wants an
Yeah.
invasion in Gaza. Not everyone in the side of Gaza and Palestine supports Hamas.
Right.
You understand my point of view.
Mhm.
We said also the other time on the other show that we see protests about Palestine, we see protests about Israel. We don't see
Right.
any protests about peace in general, and that's what worries me.
Right.
And I mean, why?
Because
Why?
it's
We
no
should.
different than when we started as a civilization 14 billion years ago. It's nothing but a land grab. And everybody is
Well, it
fighting
is
for,
different. A lot
wait,
of
no,
things
no.
have
Everybody's
changed.
fighting for their make-believe God, and nobody realizes that we're all on this planet together. And it has nothing. And if we would just understand that and stop saying my God is better than your God and this land is my land, and we just all get along, it would be so much better. And that's the simplistic way of it. But because we have
Yeah,
to put religion into it, and we put something that happened 25,000 years ago into it, all of a sudden everyone's like,
the
well, we
narrative.
have to
We
fight
come
for it.
also to the same thing that I was saying about the mind, the narrative. It needs a narrative. Those guys who
Correct.
believe fanatically in a religion and they say, my religion is right and yours is
Right.
shit. And if you go even deeper, you have to die because you don't believe in my religion. It's
Right.
ego talking, it's just ego
Oh yeah.
talking. Why your
But
religion? There's so many religions. Why
But
your
that's
religion
stuff.
is
Wait, but here's
better?
the funny thing: until the Catholic Church came along, because that guy that died on a cross, we didn't do this. If you read the book called The World, we fought over territory, we fought over riches, and we fought over
Power, yeah.
slaves and who had the prettiest girls. Right? That's what we fought over. Then all of a sudden, religion came into play, and now it's like, oh, we're not going to fight over that. I'd rather fight over power, pretty girls, and land. Now we're fighting over your gods. That's the dumbest thing in the world. Because if your gods are that powerful, let them come down and smite everybody, and they'll go, "Oh, that's your god." But no, that's not what's happening, right? So people do that. So this construe about religion and what this is all a bunch of crock. Like, let's just get down to the basics. Everybody is a land acquisition game. China's mad at Taiwan for something that happened 3,000 years ago. Okay, great. Are we going to let the grudge go? Apparently not. Hamas does not speak for the Palestinian people. So they're just doing it because they're like, "Ooh, we're going to go do whatever." And I know there's much more to it. Russia is pissed off about something that happened in the 1800s, and so it's just a land game. And I don't think they realize, and maybe they do, and they don't care. They don't care who they hurt. They just want to go do that, and that's
Yeah,
part
of
of the
course.
issue, right? And so at some
It's the
point,
agenda they are following,
right?
their
But
agenda.
right, so they're following this agenda that nobody else is following. But at some point, it's going to backfire, and something's going to happen,
Of
and it really
course,
will
everything
destroy
has a price.
civilization.
Everything
Right,
has a
and I don't
price.
think they understand that. And if they do, they just don't care. I don't
I
think
will tell
Putin
you,
really
okay, I will
cares.
tell you what I was thinking about Israel.
Okay.
It's really unfortunate what happened to the Israel, and I try you know to think as an Israeli who lives in Israel and see
Hmm.
rockets coming and sirens. I would be scared, and if
Right.
I lost somebody by Hamas, I will be even angry, so much angry. And it was somebody very very close to me. It's a very small country.
Yeah.
It's like a neighborhood there.
Yeah.
It's Texas is like, I don't know, 100 times bigger or something like that. I don't know,
Yep.
but it's much much bigger. Just Texas.
Right.
Talking about the land, so everything is one neighborhood there, and I will be so pissed, and I would probably also say, let's kill them. They're
Right.
they're a threat to my existence, and
Correct.
you know the ego. This is one of the things of our evolution. The ego, I believe, is a byproduct of the evolution. It's
Hmm.
it's 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 making us to protect ourselves because you want to survive.
Right.
But if the ego is fed, it becomes excessive and it's becoming a problem, as you said, that it has
Right.
its price. Now, look, is the solution to go and wipe the Palestinians in general? Well, no,
No.
because what you're doing, you're creating a new generation of Hamas.
Right. Right.
That they're going to give their life to kill you. So it
Yep.
will never stop. It will never, if the Israeli wants really peace, I'm talking now to the people there.
Right.
I really I don't think any, because I try to understand both. And I just said about that. If they want peace, I mean, like for good,
Yeah.
they have to change their stand and they tactics, because this thing does not work. They've tried to bomb Gaza before and before and before. It's not going to work.
Yeah, but I don't think it has anything with them bombing Gaza. I think what this is Hezbollah and Hamas have moved in, and Israel's like, "Where do you want to kill innocent, rape women, kill innocent children?" And that's what they did. They went door to door and raped and killed people. So I think what Israel,
thing.
I think Israel's response, good, bad, and indifferent, however you want to look at it, I think it needed to be done. Now, do you need to go wipe out everything in the Gaza Strip? That I'm not sure of, because I'm not there. I don't have the intelligence that they have. I don't mean up here. I mean like the reports.
I agree.
And I'm not sure how many Hamas or Hezbollah soldiers are sitting there waiting, right? So if you're trying to clear it so you can have peace again with the Palestinians, all for it, because we've had peace there for a long time. Now all of a sudden this happened. Once again, somebody needs to stir the pot. So there's a conflict. Just whatever is going to happen is going to happen. But that's the point. It's like, let's just all get along. Like, enough with like, you're fighting for a God, you're fighting for land. Listen, the land has been there like since 1945 for them. Let's not even go back 10,000 years, because that would require people to understand history. Enough's enough. We've all been there. It's just like one day the people in New York can't go, I remember back in the day when we owned New Jersey. New York's not going to go and take over New Jersey. Not that they want to. And it's the same thing. It's like, Monaco one day is going to go, we really should have France. And we're going to now push it. You know what I mean? It's like the boundaries are there. Leave the boundaries alone. The deals were made, like with us in Mexico, and the new Louisiana Purchase. Like, France isn't coming back going, we want Louisiana. You know what I mean? They're not sending anybody here to invade. So enough's enough. But the problem is all these leaders who are supposedly so smart, they're the dumbest people on the planet. Like, enough, just use common sense. And we don't use common sense. And then they wonder when things happen, why they happen. And then they wonder why this happens. And they wonder, that's because nobody has any IQ points.
It's hypocrisy. It's not that they're dumb. They're clever. It's not that. It's hypocrisy. They're hypocritical. And their ego is very elevated.
I agree with that. I think it's like, look how big my dick is. Look what I need to accomplish.
Yeah. That means that there are somehow internal problems. They're not having a good life. They're not having a full life. You don't need to be super rich to have a good life, a satisfying life and happy life. You don't need to be famous. You don't need all those stuff.
Just remember, for some people, the definition of being rich is the ability to spend their time in the way that they want to.
That's true.
Yeah. There are ways you can do it cleverly if you look around. There are many ways to do this.
I agree.
I work, but I feel that I don't feel that I work. But I didn't set myself, okay, I have made compromises. I don't own a car. I don't own a house. No, you remember that I was saying that I'm looking for a...
Right.
Just a pause. I think I have found, it's in the village, but it's like 20 kilometers inside where we were before. And I'm very happy because it's a quiet place. I need quiet to do my work.
Yeah. As long as there's internet, so we can talk with you, we're good.
Yeah, we're going to talk. We have good internet there as well. It's not a problem.
Okay. As long as they feed the gerbil on Mondays and you can spin the wheel to get the internet to work.
Because on my social, I post a lot of pictures, because I post pictures what I have in front of me of the sea. Now it won't be so much the sea, although there will be, because I'll be running around with my bike, other places. But there'll be more of the inland. But the island is so beautiful.
I was going to say, that whole island you're on is gorgeous. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Really, really beautiful. It's really beautiful.
It's like if I take pictures of Texas all the time, people are going to be like, that's flat.
And, to enjoy nature, you don't need that much money,
That's true.
You need peace of mind to enjoy things in life in general.
And you
don't need anxiety. And we are living in a... Sorry?
But you do need two gentlemen to hold your trouser legs, so when you get dressed in the morning, they can put them on you. I think that's very important for peace of mind and happiness.
Oh. I will do it soon.
I was just to say, Hal from 2001 will come here and dress me at some point, I'm assuming. So, but yeah, that's a topic for a whole nother show, I think. We can go down the
Yeah,
AI
a lot
rabbit
of
path.
shows. Don't worry, we
Yeah.
have a lot of things.
I know.
There's
And
no
next
end to what we can talk.
Next week,
I know.
next week's
Next
another
week
show.
you'll be back. We have we had
we have
over 1,000
next
people
week.
watching this live today. So that would thank you to all of them. They can ask
Thank you,
questions
yeah.
if they'd like before we get off the air. If you have any questions for Adam, now's the time to ask. But we'll be back next week, same time and same back channel.
Put your comments below if you want to reply between now and next week.
Yeah, we have the merch is located below. So Adam, you can buy his work, which is absolutely beautiful. And then that's it. So Adam, this was great. It's always good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too, always.
And
so very cool.
Look forward to seeing you all next week. Take care, everyone.
All right. Cheers,
Bye-bye.
everybody. David, take us home. We do.